What do you want, Peter?
I want to go back on my trip with the girl who I really like and tell her how I feel. MJ,
I'm Spider-Man.
No, of course I'm not.
I mean, it's kind of obvious.
You're right, you may not be ready, but this is my responsibility. Saving the world requires sacrifice. Sometimes people die. Oh my God.
I just always feel like I'm putting my friends in danger. The world needs the next Iron Man.
You going to step up or not?
Out of here! Get on the jet!
Who are you?
I work with Spider-Man.
You work for Spider-Man?
I work with Spider-Man, not for Spider-Man. New plan!
Hey guys, welcome back to Super Dynamic Bros. I am Michael Sarabona.
And I'm Isaiah Amaro.
And today we're gonna be reviewing Spider-Man Far From Home.
Were you reading off the laptop?
No. No script in front of me. I don't need no script, okay? I know it's been a little bit of hiatus, but we are back.
Damn, it's been a long time.
It has, since our Endgame spoiler talk. Yeah.
Wow. It's about a month ago.
A little bit more than that.
A little
bit more than that. But yeah, so Spider-Man Far From Home is, of course, it's the second in, the Tom Holland MCU / Sony.
The 23rd.
It's the 23rd Marvel movie,
Yeah.
right? Are we already at 23?
23.
Jeez.
Yeah. No.
That's all.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. 23.
2-3.
Michael Jordan.
We're almost to the level of Bond movies.
Surprising enough, and only in a matter of 11 years.
Those are 25.
No, this one's going to be 25 coming up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right?
So,
yeah. Yeah, but we're not talking about Bond. We're talking about Spider-Man Far From Home. So, of course, Spider-Man Far From Home takes place, I think, a couple of months after the events of Endgame.
Yeah, pretty much. Everybody's gathering their stuff up, recuperating after
after
blimp.
what they call the blimp, which everyone's
Bleep.
being brought back to life post-snap. And Spider-Man, Peter Parker, he's going on a field trip during the summer to Europe with all of his friends in high school and stuff. And he gets in some sort of weird, there's these elemental creatures and stuff that start appearing.
Basically, I don't know how you call it, like Titans almost, sort of like Hercules. Where it's like, that's why every time I see his it just reminds me of that, where you have earth, fire, wind, and water.
It's the band?
Pretty much, or the
Earth, Fire, Wind,
Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Earth, Wind, and Fire?
Or the
Yeah.
avatars. Yeah.
That's
Pretty much, yeah. So they're all coming around different parts of the world.
Yeah, so pretty much he gets recruited by Nick Fury. Nick Fury comes back, he's brought into this mission while he's on his trip with his friends.
Yeah, and he just wants to be a kid. He just wants to, he did the whole space thing, almost dying, coming back to life. He's in love with a girl. He just wants to,
Mary Jane. Well, no, they don't call her Mary Jane. They call her MJ.
MJ for Michelle.
Something.
Johnson. I forgot her last name. It's one of those two.
That was offensive.
I may or may not be offensive. If I am, so be it. I'm sorry. But yeah, so Michelle, he's falling in love. He's trying to figure out how to,
pretty much tell her and it's really kind of cutesy, teenage awkwardness, how you tell a girl in high school that you liked her. I used to just send a note.
Really, with a checkbox, yes or no?
No, it wouldn't work out.
I just poke her and run and pull on her pigtails. You gotta be a bully sometimes. I don't know.
You gotta be bullies. That's the moral of the story, guys. No. And we get introduced to a new character in the MCU called Mysterio, played by Jake Gyllenhaal. And Isaiah, what did you think about Spider-Man Far From Home?
Honestly, truly, it's still fresh in my mind. So of course I'm gonna think, this is the best Spider-Man movie I've seen, and of course, yeah, it's a little better than the first one.
Homecoming.
Better than Homecoming a little bit. This is more open world. This is a brand new take. You take the Spider-Man out of New York, but you can't take the New York out of Spider-Man.
It's on the poster, by the way.
It's not-
That's the tagline
This
for
is in the
whole
pitch
movie.
meeting, exactly what they were going for.
No, you can't really take the New York out of Spider-Man.
Yeah, he still has the New York elements in him, and he uses his New York. Yeah, it's a good movie. It expands out the world. You see Venice, you see not France actually. You see London,
Prague.
Prague. You see Prague, yeah.
Yeah, Berlin. You go really international in this one. I mean, that's why they call it Far From Home, because he literally is far from home.
Yeah,
And
the villain was good. Him fighting the different elements and all that was, it was pretty entertaining.
pretty cool, yeah.
Visually, it was good.
There was a lot of good effects in this movie. I know a lot of CGI has to be used in the movie and stuff, but
As
I
long
felt
as
like
it looks good.
it all looked beautiful.
Yeah, it didn't
Yeah.
felt like a whole, let's say, Black Panther at the end where it's just one big CGI fight and it looks a little
We
cheesy.
can tell we spent all the money in the beginning of the movie, not really in the
Pretty
end.
much, yeah. I felt like if they did spend all this money for these scenes, it blended in perfectly. It didn't it felt like more of a Doctor Strange moment.
Yeah, there was a lot of kind of cool Doctor Strange elements of how they use certain cool effects.
Of course, and
Yeah,
then all the characters are pretty much back. Majority of them did get vanished, so they come back still the same dudes. A couple of people that did
There's some
stay
kids-
for the 5
Yeah,
years.
there's some kids that are 5 years older than what they should be.
And I felt like, of course, they did play with it. They tried their best to explain how this is gonna work, and then it felt kind of weird too. It's really? Okay, we'll just roll with it. Everybody,
so pretty
everybody's
much if you did not get blimped, then you have to come back to high school. I
Yeah.
felt
So
like that's what
Raul,
was
you're
happening.
21 years old. Everybody's still 16. So yeah,
It's what's the point? And what's even the point? But I actually thought that part was, so this movie is actually really funny.
yeah,
and
there's
I
a
got-
lot of good jokes that stuck.
And I gotta say, man, we've had Tom Holland in how many movies now? 4 movies.
About 4 movies, yeah.
About 4 movies. I think we can honestly say that he is the best Spider-Man Peter Parker out of anybody.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of really said that after even Civil War.
He's in
maybe.
it for that.
A little bit, but the characteristic of him when he was fighting at the airport and all that, I'm like, wow,
Yeah.
he's gonna be really good. And then Homecoming came out, I was like, damn, this is probably one of my best Spider-Mans out there.
Yeah, and I thought he was at his best in this movie.
Yeah,
There's certain parts where he got to be really dramatic, but then really funny. You can feel he's a kid. He acts like a kid, and you can relate to a lot of the issues that he's going with throughout the movie.
and I ain't gonna lie to, out of all 3 of them, he is the best crier. He didn't make no stupid face.
That's right.
He didn't, he didn't take it over the
when
edge.
when he cries in this one, man, it's
I
good.
felt it
It's good.
With Tobey Maguire, you had the stupid face
Suck
of
it,
him,
Toby.
and then with I forgot his name,
I
Andrew Garfield.
I remember Andrew Garfield's cry.
It was- I don't
it's
know.
kind of like Toby's.
It was a little bit like Toby's, but without the stupid face in it. But same attitude. This one, I felt like it was it was rare. It was genuine.
It felt real.
It felt real to
really
me.
real.
But
Yeah.
Right.
And and you got a lot of returning characters like Ned. Ned is great in this movie.
Mhm.
I love his mini little story arc that he has with
it
certain
was
other
different.
characters.
It wasn't
So
the same
funny.
old typical Ned doing typical
Nah,
Ned
it
things.
was-
This was a little different, and it
was
gave
good.
him something different to do than being, of course, the guy in the
Yeah.
chair.
And I gotta say, I'll get into Jake Gyllenhaal in a second because he
Of
was
course, yeah.
definitely my favorite part. But I didn't really like Zendaya in the first movie.
She wasn't really the main focus point. It was mostly this guy's daughter.
Yeah, and but you know how she's she came in the scenes, said weird things, and then left.
Yeah.
I love her in this movie.
No, this one, the weird
I love
things had a purpose.
Yeah.
The weird things, she explains it more into this, why she acts that way and what is her coping mechanism just to feel included or be part of her normal, per se. Yeah, you're right. She had more dialogue in this one, so it explained a lot more than just coming in, saying, oh, you guys are weird, and then
Yeah.
walking out, or
Yeah,
flipping
yeah.
you guys off and then walking back out.
And she had such great chemistry with Tom Holland.
Yes, it's almost like they're dating in real life.
Are they dating?
They are dating in real life, yeah.
Is that like a Spider-Man thing to do? Because isn't that what happened with
Boy, Andrew Garfield.
Andrew Garfield and
the
Emma
only- yeah, you gotta keep the Spider-Man traditions. But yeah, no, you definitely the
cast as
chemistry
Spider-Man.
together alone was perfect. Even Ned and Betty.
So good.
Yeah,
It's so good.
So cringy little kids
It's so
chemistry. I
good.
loved it.
I love. All right, so and also I loved Martin Starr and JB Smoove as the two teachers.
You know they do have good teacher chemistry. Like if they
They
would have
do.
done another movie together, like just outside
Yeah.
the MCU,
I would watch it.
I'll watch it. Even a TV show or something.
I would watch a whole Disney Plus show of those two guys.
Of just just doing regular
Yeah.
school teacher stuff,
Yeah.
doing the board meetings and shit.
Yeah, and I've always been a fan of Martin Starr ever since the show Party Down came out many years ago.
Freaks and Geeks.
Oh my god, yeah, that's
Yeah,
right. Freaks and
he
Geeks.
was a
What
tall
were
guy.
you
He was a
thinking?
tall kid.
Yeah.
I forgot his name,
That's
but he
why I
was just a
laughed.
tall friend.
Yeah. I love him in Freaks and Geeks.
Yeah.
But yeah, honestly, but the standout in this movie, and when I heard that he got cast in this particular role, I knew it was something special. Jake Gyllenhaal is the man in this movie.
Yeah, I'm glad
That
they
was
put
awesome.
him. They put him as Mysterio, one of the fan favorites. Someone that like, oh, we gotta bring Mysterio in. Please
Yeah.
bring. I'm tired of seeing the same old villains or whatever.
Tired of seeing Green Goblin. in, like,
Exactly. I
3
don't want to see that
iterations.
or yeah.
I mean, maybe down the line in the
Of
MCU.
course,
I'll
yeah,
definitely
build
get
it
the
up,
Green
or at least
Goblin,
get
but-
us away from the previous
Yeah.
5 Spider-Man movies. Give us
Mhm.
something fresh and new.
I mean, that's why like what Homecoming did. They gave us Vulture. That was
And
different.
Vulture and Shocker.
And yeah, that's true. And Shocker. I
Yeah,
forgot
so
about
yeah,
Shocker,
they gave us Mysterio, and then it was just perfect.
Yeah,
It
and,
reminded me of course, the Spider-Man TV shows, the
yeah, the cartoons and
PS2
stuff. Yeah.
Spider-Man 2 game.
Yep.
Even the
Yep.
fishbowl, they made the fishbowl helmet work.
Fishbowl looked awesome.
And I thought, like, when they
Whole
bring
outfit
someone
looked
in,
awesome.
they always change it up, try to moderate it up,
Mhm.
try to make it really
Realistic?
Realistic,
Yeah.
yeah. And then no, there's like just do comic book style.
It's like this, like
Yeah,
and
upgraded his
like
armor though.
and like the fishbowl and his costume, it all served a purpose
Yeah.
to the story, which was super important.
hmm
I think just the way that like they handled Mysterio in this movie is fantastic. They did Quentin Beck.
Quentin Beck.
They did him justice.
hmm
They did him justice. Honestly, like this is probably one of my favorite Spider-Man movies. Like it's so high up there. I can't really say which is my favorite, like because my love will always still be with Spider-Man 2 from back in the day.
hmm
But these new ones just keep getting better and better.
I feel like with me with Spider-Man 2, because I have like so much bias into it, of course I will put it up there. But if I had to look at it from like a brand new movie I just saw like last year,
All right, man, I get it. You like Amazing Spider-Man.
I
2.
do love Amazing. No,
I said liked, man. I said liked.
I just went over the edge. I love it. Anyways, I don't know. I gotta give it a while. Give it like another year or so. Let me watch it again
Yeah.
a couple more times. But it might be pretty
I'm
much
just saying like it's definitely like high up there right
no,
now.
of course. Between that, Homecoming, Spider-Man 2,
Into the Spider-Verse.
Into the Spider-Verse is another good one.
You realize that we've had 3 great Spider-Man movies in like the last 3 years?
Yeah, surprising enough for a change.
Yeah.
I could say the same. No, not even the TV shows. I'm sorry.
What? Which one?
Both of them. I tried watching both. The new one on
Oh,
Disney.
I last watched the Ultimate one.
I like
Ultimate
that one.
Spider-Man. Yeah,
it's
that
a little
was
different.
fine.
Deadpool, Spider-Man, but
Yeah,
I
the
don't know.
movie's been great. So if we're gonna rank it from dynamic, delightful, decent, disappointing, and dreadful. Man, I'm going super dynamic.
Going super dynamic.
I can't really think of anything I didn't like about this.
If I had to
movie.
put one gripe on this one,
Help me out
thing,
here. There's gotta be something.
there was a few scenes I felt was a little too cartoonish, like when he kept getting hit with the bell.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And there was like another one too.
I kind of laughed at that. Though.
It was, and I was
Kinda
like,
laughed
this
at
is a
that.
little too weird. That's like, this is
Yeah.
different. I mean, at this regular
think-
style you're going for, and then you're gonna do this.
I think the second half is way better than the first half. The first half feels a little bit more of like a
National
like
a National Lampoon Vacation.
like European vacation comedy that kind of worked. Actually, have you ever seen If Looks Could Kill?
No.
No, it's kind of the same premise as this movie, where like a like a kid on like a field trip, like a European field trip, but it gets like taken over by like spies and stuff.
Oh, okay, so it's not like Eurotrip.
No, it's not like Eurotrip. Eurotrip is great though.
Yeah, super dynamic it is.
Super dynamic. Yeah, well, we're gonna get into some spoiler discussions, but if you guys don't want to stay for that, please follow us on our channel, Super Dynamic Bros. Please like, share, and subscribe. And as always, have a dynamic day. And let's talk spoilers.
I know he's
Hit
fucking.
me.
I had a feeling he was a villain this whole fucking time. I'm sorry.
I'm not gonna lie to you, man. There was a good second that I was honestly thinking, like, wait, is Mysterio a bad guy here?
The thing is, like,
Is the multiverse real?
I had a feeling
And it's not.
this was a thing. I was like, okay, I hope that this is how they introduce the multiverse, because then you could throw so much things on it, X-Men, Fantastic Four, whatever. And then I'm like,
And
wow.
they've introduced the multiverse in the MCU before in Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
Because like I think the Ancient One was talking about it.
Yeah,
at one point.
multiverse, quantum realms, and all that. They changed it up
Yeah.
the names, but it's pretty much the same concept, all that. But I knew Mysterio was going to be a villain. I had a feeling.
Yeah.
And then watching the movie, it's like, I know these Titans are going to be the villains of the movie. It just doesn't make sense. I mean, basically, it's just going to be Hercules all over again.
Yeah.
So I had a feeling someone has to be the main villain here.
And like the Elementals are actual like characters in the comics.
I like how I could remember
Yeah.
the word elementals after we figured after we're done recording the review. We figured this name out. But go ahead, elementals.
They're the Elementals, right?
Yeah, the elementals.
Or
I just couldn't
Internal-
remember the
no,
name.
they're not
so-
they're not the Internals. That's that movie coming out
Yeah,
next
yeah,
year.
yeah. That's why I'm like,
It's the other,
Titans,
other
whatever
E
you
word.
wanna call
Oh,
them.
they're the Inhumans. Oh, okay, got it.
Yeah,
Inhumans.
They did a lot
That
more
was the
than-
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. But no, once I love how they use like the holographic like imagery stuff as like, because that feels like such like a Mysterio type of way to like, you know, confuse, like, you know, trick people.
You know, I did not think of that. I did not think of Barf throughout the whole time.
I didn't either. That was
I
such a
didn't
good
think-
that was such a good surprise.
It was. I was like, fuck, you're right. He did create
So
augmented reality.
So Barf was the thing that was introduced in Civil War. In the beginning of Civil War, that's how Tony used like that flashback sequence in the beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
We're-
I like how they did the flashback on that, and then they threw in Jake Gyllenhaal, and I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
I knew he wasn't in there, but it looks good. It could have fooled me.
That
at
was
first.
probably the greatest like scene of like just someone like spewing out information about their whole backstory. and
Exactly.
plot.
It was a quick, simple, easy, like, hey, let's get the ball rolling. Let's just have you guys know everything about us,
Yeah.
just so people are not confused. Like, wait, why? Who are these people? I would have never guessed, like, oh, like I was in Iron Man 1. Oh, look,
that was
I
like kind of
I
funny.
was like, damn, that was pretty good.
It's like the one guy that Obadiah Stane yelled at in Iron Man 1. they
We're
just
bringing
brought
him back. Everybody's brought back.
Actually, you know who that is, right?
No.
That's Ralphie from Christmas Story.
No way.
Yeah.
I did not
I just
recognize him.
read about that today.
I thought you saw his face. I'm like, wow.
I was like, yeah, I completely recognized him from Christmas Story. Did I say Toy Story? Did I say Christmas Story?
Let's go with Christmas Story. Because
Yeah, there we go. It's 1 a.m. It's almost 2.
It's almost 2. So, yeah, I love it.
And the reveal in the end.
Which one? The post-credit
The
scenes?
first post. Well, yeah, we could talk about that.
Oh, okay, yeah, the post-credit scene, the first... So, now the world knows he's Spider-Man?
Yeah.
This is a new twist. I don't know what to base this off of. That the world knew he was Spider-Man?
Civil War? The
No,
actual
no.
comic book?
Yeah, really. I
Yeah,
forgot all
because
about
remember
it.
he like revealed himself to the world that he was Spider-Man?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess, let's see how the third one goes. Maybe he could kind of twist it in his way, or...
I want the third one to be like John Wick 3, but with Spider-Man. Everyone's just after him.
Yeah, either that, or maybe a Skrull can impersonate as Peter, and then be like, hey, look, I'm right here. Oh, look, it's Spider-Man.
That's- Okay, the movie's gonna be like 3 minutes if that happens.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's crazy. There he goes.
Hey, look, I'm Peter Parker. I don't know who that guy is.
But he's obviously Spider-Man.
Yeah, that's the only way they could
Yeah.
twist it. They brought back J.K.
J.K. Simmons, yeah, as J. Jonah Jameson.
Do you like the new look?
I love it.
The bald hair, big
Yeah.
mustache.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because you kind of have to make it a little bit different than the Raimi version, because it's not the Raimi version.
Yeah.
This is their version.
That's why I hope they do something different. Like, I don't want him to work at Dave Bugle. He's too smart for that. I don't want him to walk around taking photos of everything.
Ooh, Peter Parker?
Peter Parker.
Well, he can't anymore since everyone knows his identity.
Exactly. I mean, if they go my route and do the scroll type thing to impersonate him and all
Probably
that,
not
just to
gonna
get it, let's just say this.
Yeah.
I don't want him to do that. He needs to be working in his field, creating tags. Maybe work at Stark Industries.
There you go.
Who knows?
Parker Industries.
Parker Industries. See what I mean? Do that.
And then the last post credit scene was the reveal that Nick Fury and Maria Hill were both Skrulls the entire time.
But for how long though is the question.
That's a good question. See, I think like Nick Fury in that space station, that's a setup for SWORD, right? The space defense
Technically, yes. And
led by Captain Marvel, right?
I hope it's just something far away from Captain Marvel, in my opinion. I like the SWORD idea.
Captain
Keep it as
Marvel's
SWORD.
coming back, man.
The shield could stay down there, but SWORD needs to be the defense. Keep it
Yeah,
as
yeah. Shield, but that's how it was in comics. Shield
Yeah.
was in Earth, SWORD was in space.
Yeah, they had the giant space, which
Yeah.
they try to do a little bit in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. somewhat, but not really.
I haven't caught up.
I gotta see
I
the
don't
new
know if I'm
season.
going to.
But yeah, I hope so. I hope he's running SWORD from up there, and I don't know how long though. Is it weird though? So I hope they explain it more in another movie. I guess we'll wait till D23 to figure out how this connects.
Or technically Comic-Con.
If they redo the whole thing
Yeah. I mean, they're going to reveal the slate soon.
soon, maybe do
Yeah.
half and half, or TV shows on one, and then do the movies on D23.
Good. Well,
We'll see.
When Comic-Con comes, we'll definitely talk about it. All right, well, thank you guys.
Pizza time.